Well, this is it. Game one of the World Series in 2025. A moment I don't think I ever would see in my life because of the fact that, the Blue Jays, it's been a long, long time since they went to the World Series. 32 freaking years. What has happened in 32 years of Blue Jays baseball since 1993? Well, 94 was the strike. 95, things went downhill, even though that we pounded Dave Stewart into oblivion on opening night. 96, Pat Hankin was this AL Cy Young winner, so at least there was something good about that. 97, we got Roger Clemens from Boston after Boston just basically lowballed him, and he pitched well and got a Cy Young. 98, another Cy Young by Roger Clemens in a better year for the Blue Jays. 88 wins. And that was just humongous, winning 88 games. Of course, Tim Johnson blew it by basically fabricating Vietnam war stories. And then 99 was when the Blue Jays traded Roger Clemens to the Yankees for David Wells, which seemed like a good move because David Wells was a former Blue Jay. Of course, Roger Clemens proving why he was good with the Yankees. 2000, not much for the Blue Jays, although I did see them beat the eventual NL champion New York Mets on a Marty Cordova Grand Slam. 2001, there's Cito Gaston, the legendary Cito Gaston, coming in to throw out the ceremonial first pitch. It's amazing, all that. Pharrell Williams and his choir group singing both the American and Canadian national anthems. And now Cito Gaston, the guy who got the Blue Jays to 2 straight World Series and all that, is going to throw out the first pitch. He's a little bit older, so that's why he's not on the mound throwing it. But yeah, Cito Gaston is a legend and all that. I even have Cito Gaston's autograph if I can find that ceremonial signing ticket stub, because it was one of my favorite autographs of all time. So yeah, so that's big. 2002, nothing much. And then freaking Roy Halladay finally came out of his shell in 2003, winning the Cy Young and proving things for the Jays. And then they decided to go from their little Blue Jay logo to the metallic J, and basically the Rays getting mad about their look. But yeah, the Blue Jays in 2004. So I saw Carlos Delgado's game when he got his 1,000th RBI. 2005, not much and all that. 2006 is when the big moment happened in 2006 when the Blue Jays, I got Cito Gaston's autograph in a game against the White Sox. And then 2007, I went to see 2 Blue Jay games and all that, but nothing happened after that. And then, of course, you got late 2000s or late 2010s when the Blue Jays picked up Jose Bautista and Edwin Encarnacion from the scrap heap. Well, Bautista mostly from the scrap heap from Pittsburgh, and Edwin was a trade from the Reds in exchange for Scott Rowland, which actually worked for both teams. But, yeah, that's just big and all that. And then the Blue Jays finally came through in 2015, winning the AL East and then beating Texas in the ALDS in a shocker because of the Bautista bat flip game and all that. So, yeah, that's what happened every time. And then, of course, you got yourself the thing. Yeah. So a lot of people are hoping that Trey Yesevich can help the Blue Jays out. He's had some great starts and a few bad ones, but hey, they're not that bad either. They had some good pitching too. Kirk, nice swing, and just fair. That camera does not do the ball justice. And Kirk is not a fast runner, so he had to hold up at first. So yeah, so Canada basically screwed. Well, the tournament is in Puerto Rico. Varsho, the center field, back. Sekita! That one! Varsho through the snow on one horse open sleigh. The game one is now tied. We're laughing all the way. Ha ha ha. Bells on Belltown ring. Like snow's not really good. Oh, he just went freaking deep and deep. He really did. Oh, kaboom. Well, we're tied. Well, the good news for Trey is he's not going to get a loss. He's going to get a no decision at worst. Just nerve-wracking. What is that fan doing? He's like picking his nose. Barger. Way, 2-1. So Jays are up 5-2. Yeah. Somebody gave me a message on Facebook Messenger, saying that the Blue Jays have 5 runs on the Dodgers. The Brewers only had 4 runs in the 4-game LCS loss. Barger swings the ball. There's no fucking way! Say goodbye. One. Grand slam. La 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 la. Honey Barger. Honey, da 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 da, oh, sugar, da 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 da. You are my candy girl, and the home run jacket fits. Yeah, I did not see that coming. Eddie Barger off the freaking bench on the board, 9-2. Holy Saint Laurent, are you kidding me? That's a good drive to center field back and say goodbye. One. And no. I think this is over now. It's 11-2. Holy shit. Well, I told you he was a hot and cold hitter. That was hot. Hot. Hey there, how there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to Game 2 live stream. It is a live stream. It is Game 2 of the World Series. The Blue Jays, with that gigantic win, Game 1, thanks to Addison Barger, the Honey Barger's grand salami in the bottom of the 6th to sink the Dodgers, and the Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. Hard to believe, but it is true. The Toronto Blue Jays win Game 1 of the World Series. Well, they did in 93 against the Phillies and won the World Series. But they did in 92, they lost Game 1 of the World Series to the Braves. They still did it, winning 4 of the next 5. So anyway, the Blue Jays, lots on the line that you don't realize. The Blue Jays are we're trying to go 3-0 in the World Series. No team has been 3-0 or better in real life, of course. Complete game victory. I don't know if Fox has any insight on the Dodgers bullpen, but the Blue Jays broadcast hasn't had a Dodger warm up at all. And that's a foul. Like I said, it's probably going to be, Fisher is throwing the pen. Braden Fisher. And no, that's not the guy who blew Game 5 of the LCS. That's a different guy. That's Little. And Jimenez will foul it off. So it looks like the Dodgers will send Toronto a message, and that, we're Blue Jay fans. We should be used to the Jays being 1-1 after 2 games. Because that's what happened in 92, and that's what happened in 93. Well, of course, Game 3 won't be till Monday, so there'll be a day off for Blue Jay fans to crap and swing and miss victory. So, yeah, Yamamoto wants to throw a complete game victory in both the LCS and World Series. Complete games are so rare nowadays. I don't know how many Okay, everyone, be honest. How many people actually watched the whole 18 innings yesterday? It wasn't me, that's for sure. Hey there, ho there, Chef Cutter Diamond welcoming you to Game 4 of the 2025 World Series between the Toronto Blue Jays, that's depicted as this $1.88 cap, and the Blue Jays pullover against the LA Dodgers, the evil empire, if you will, trying to go back-to-back for the first time in 25 years. Well, first franchise to go back-to-back in 25 years, which, you know, the New York Yankees hold that mark. And I bet you lots of Yankee fans don't want this to happen because they want that record to themselves. Of course, MLB has the longest drought of back-to-back champions and all that. Football, you know, the Chiefs in the 2020s have done it. Basketball, the last back-to-back was Golden State in their generational movements in the 2010s. And hockey, the last back-to-back was the Panthers. Well, currently, they're the current champs, of course. So, yeah, this is the longest drought of the four major sports. And basketball is second. So, anyhow, longevity actually what is endurance actually saved it. Vladdy de la Field back at the fence. Say goodbye. That one. Blonde cutter. That's the Vladdy Jr. You don't need the high step. We don't need that step. But yeah. Well, the Jays are up 2-1, so Vladdy Jr. doing his job off of Ohtani-san. So our superstar gets one off their superstar. Just the way nature intended it to be. Maybe just ending at 2-2 and all that. This will be the first time in, 3 years that the World Series has been 2-2. Yeah, 2022 was the last time it was 2-2. Because Texas won in 5 in 23, and last year the Dodgers won in 5. So that means that for the first time in 3 years, we will have a series at 2-2. Or in layman's terms, the first time that whoever loses the World Series will lose multiple games in 3 years. Because, you know, Arizona only won once in 2023. The Yankees only won one game last year. So we're going to see a 6-game series for the first time in 3 years. The last time there was a Game 7 was 2019. First show. Strike 3. Like, doesn't really matter. Anyway, Blue Jays, they just have to keep their foot, down defensively. Farland is definitely coming in. All right, we're here. It's clear. We don't want any more bears. We're here. We're clear. We don't want any more bears. We don't need any more bears. I don't know why I have that Simpsons in my head with the chanting, but anyway. Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another World Series video. It is Game 5. It is the big boys going into battle, and the Blue Jays and Dodgers 2-2 tie headed to Game 5. So this is key. This is the game that will decide who has the advantage headed back to lovely T-Dot. We know that there is a Game 6 on Friday night in Toronto, no matter what happens tonight. But who will have that 3-2 lead? It will be on the line as the Toronto Blue Jays have got to win this game and take that 3-2 lead coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. So Yi Savage is starting for Toronto. LA starts Blake Snell. Rufus Wainwright is going to sing our national anthem. Sophia Carson will sing the American national anthem. Magic Johnson will throw the first pitch. Game 6, it's pretty much, it could be Gossman. I'm guessing it'll be Gossman versus Yamamoto. So, oh, yes. Well, the Blue Jays have just went deep, back-to-back. David Schneider, Hot Dog Man, his first home run of the postseason. Vladdy, his 8th. Vladdy now has the most home runs in Blue Jays history. Not just one postseason, but through all of them. So, anyway. Yeah, this is amazing. Like, the Blue Jays have just started off with back-to-back tater tots. So, you know, I don't know how many times that's been done in World Series history. I say 4 or 5 times. Yeah. Anyway. Pitches, and Teoscar has had 2 hits today. The pair. Got a Blue Jays victory time! How about that? I did not see this coming. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. A 6-1 Blue Jays victory. What is going on? So, yeah. So, wow. I'm just stunned. Of course I'm upset about this Game 6 loss. How do you think I feel? A double play to end the game? 3-1, runners on second and third, no out. Bottom of the ninth, a chance to score the tying run at the very least. And we can't get it done. Clement takes a first pitch and pops it up, and then Barger hits into the double play. And what the hell is going on? Why do you just walk off second base? The ball was right in Kiki's Hernandez's glove. You could have just easily just touched second, stay on second and third, 2 outs, and then maybe a long single by Springer. Springer was up, and Springer had everything in his grasp. You could have pinch hit for Jimenez. You should have pinch hit for Jimenez. Somebody should have came up for Jimenez. And someone with a better brain than a monkey, I don't know why I said that, but you stay on second base, you wait, because nobody was moving, runner wasn't moving off third anytime soon. Turkey in the Straw was on third base. And Clement decides to take a bad pitch, and Barger ends up straying off second base to end the game. This is just bullshit as the obstruction call in 2013 with Will Middlebrooks and the Cardinals winning the game. And then the next game, Uehara with the pickoff, game over for the Bo Sox. This is a Game 6 that's supposed to be memorable for all the good times, especially in Toronto land. Winning the World Series in Atlanta with Dave Winfield's 2-run double in the 11th. Winning the game in 93 with Joe Carter's 3-run home run at home against the Phillies while we were down by 1. Dodgers were up 3-0. The Dodgers scored 1 inning out of 9. We shut them out 8 innings, and we cannot believe that the one fucking inning that the Los Angeles Dodgers scored in, the Dodgers scored 3 times, and we can't only scored once. Yamamoto was good. I know it. Everyone knows it. Props to Yamamoto. We tried to get him the second time, and we couldn't. I'm actually shocked that he was yanked after 6 innings. I would have kept him in for a few more innings if I were the Blue Jays. Of course, I'm a Blue Jays fan. But you can't. You cannot. You will not have a better chance in the bottom of the ninth, second and third, 0 outs. Yes, that ball got stuck at the worst possible time, and people wish that ball had moved a millimeter to the right and kept rolling, and then we would have runner would have scored, and we would have had a triple by Barger. And then runner on third, no outs, sack fly, tie game. Okay, we'll see what extras bring. But the Dodgers score in 1 inning out of 9, and they freaking win the game. I am just pissed off. You know how I feel. And unusually it's 12:30 in the morning and I'm still up. Usually I'm in bed by now by 11 o'clock. Obviously, I have to stay for the World Series. And obviously, I was actually at a buddy's place in Brantford. And that's why I didn't stream. Blame it all you want. Blame the fact, hey, Jeff Diamond did not stream Game 6. What the hell is wrong with him? I decided to do the one thing I wanted to do in my life and be live and be at a friend's place and, mingle with other Blue Jay fans. And I didn't mingle that well. It's my social anxiety, but, I went to do the human thing. I went to do what good people do and hang out at an establishment. We almost went to an establishment, me and Bill, but we decided to save some money and all that. We bought some snacks for the group and some low and brow, $25 later. It's no big deal. Good hospitality by Patrick and his wife, Patrick Hill and his wife. Props to them. I like their hospitality and all that. Nothing against them, nothing against the other people in the room, nothing against Bill. Yes, Bill decided to take away my Chinese takeout plate because, I had the plate and then I was just keeping it in my hands and all that. And Bill takes it away and then that inning, I don't care. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. And now I'm going to be in bed angrier than I've ever been while sleeping. Worst of all, of course, I've got to do my stuff. I've got to do the college football taping and all that. I've got things to do. I've got to rake leaves tomorrow afternoon because I might as well. If you can only look at me with pity, and don't pity me, don't pity anyone. Desperate times call for desperate measures. And yeah, desperate times really call for desperate measures. Wearing the Blue Jay sweater, wearing red underneath for Canada, wearing the pillbox hat. That was my dad's, and hopefully with my dad, I can celebrate a championship. With the influence of my dad and the influence of Eric Markin, my coworker who died 2 months ago. This is just, hard to believe, but yeah, there's a Game 7 in Toronto. The Jays never played a Game 7 in World Series history. I mean, the 2 times the Jays have been to the World Series, they've won in 6 games both times. But now they got a Game 7. They could have done the trouble of winning in Game 6s. I think the Dodgers are lifetime terrible. And all that in a Game 7. So I'm just going to look up on Sharp Sports results schedule Los Angeles. Regular Game 7s. The Dodgers are 5-5 in Game 7s. They've won the last 2. So, not as bad as I thought it would be. Well, Cleveland beat Brooklyn in Game 7 to win the 1920 World Series, but that was a best-of-9 series. 1947, they lost to the Yankees in Game 7, even though they came back in Game 6 with that big rally against Bill Bevins to win. And then the Yankees in 1952, Billy Martin making that famous catch with the bases loaded, a pop-up that if it dropped, Brooklyn could have scored as many runs as they could. 1955, the Dodgers finally got the Game 7 monkey up their back, beating the Yankees thanks to Johnny Podres' shutout. Then 1956, they had a Game 7 against the Yankees again, but the Yankees won 9-0. 1965, the Dodgers went to Game 7 against Minnesota and won the game thanks to Sandy Koufax and his perfect start. That game is actually famous because, the 55 game is famous because the Dodgers finally got a title. But the 65 matchup is big because if you look at Minnesota's World Series history as the Minnesota Twins, not as the Washington Senators, but as the Washington Senators, in 1965, 1987, 1991, the Twins hosted 12 World Series games. They had home field in all 3 of them because of the rotation rule. But the fact is, the Twins are 11-1 lifetime at home in the World Series. And guess what? That game was the one that they botched. 1988, the Dodgers played the Mets in New York for the chance to face Oakland and basically might be slaughtered. Of course, we all know what happened, but at the time, Oakland was like, we're going to slaughter the Dodgers if they beat the Mets. And, the Mets might give Oakland a piece of their mind. But yeah, the Dodgers won Game 7 by a score of 6-0. Which was huge. And then thanks to I think Orel Hershiser pitched that game, didn't he? And then in 2017, in Game 7 of the World Series at home, they ended up losing to Houston 5-1, thanks to George Springer. And ironically, he's facing the Dodgers, of course. And then in 2018, the Dodgers went to Milwaukee for Game 7 of the NL Championship Series, the NLCS. And thanks to a massive catch by Chris Taylor in the 6th inning and then a Yasiel Puig homer in the 8th, the Dodgers took care of Milwaukee 5-1. And then, of course, 2020, the Dodgers beat the Braves in the NLCS to go to the World Series against Tampa. So they're 5-5 in Game 7s in history, which isn't half bad. Well, I mean, come on. You really think CM Punk was not going to win the heavyweight championship? I mean, dude, the guy leaves WWE for like 10 years. He comes back in 2023 Survivor Series to a massive pop. 2024, he ruins Drew McIntyre's chances at the heavyweight belt after his match and then gives Damian Priest a run with the heavyweight belt. And then, of course, he screws Drew McIntyre several times. And there was supposed to be a massive blow-off at WrestleMania, but CM Punk got hurt. So, yeah, so CM Punk finally is getting his title. You knew he was going to get it. Jey Uso's won it a few times, but, I mean, come on. Anyways, 1st and 3rd. Oh, they intentionally walked him. That's right. Bichette drives the ball to center field. No way! Say goodbye. That one. Bobo Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 4 bags full. Holy Sailor Rot. Well, I guess that was huge. 442 feet. Wow. Wowie, wow, wow, wow. Wow. Whew. Well, they said he was one of the best hitters around, and man, oh, freaking man. The Dodgers probably were wishing that Bo Bichette was not healthy. But Bo Bichette, my goodness gracious sakes alive. What a moment. 3-0. And are they yanking Ohtani? Oh, Ohtani-san is OUT. He's gone. They have taken Ohtani out of the game, although he'll come back to DH. Wow. Can you believe it? Bo Bichette and the bat flip, too. Can't believe it. Of all people, I thought they were going to pinch hit for him. But he proves why he belongs at second base. Wow. Throwing the sunflower seeds at him. Italy game set match. All that. Well, I know in the 9th. Got to remember the last time a team had a lead in the 9th and gave up the tying run and all that. 2016. No, it wasn't 2016 because that was the 8th inning when Rajay went deep to tie the game. 2017, it wasn't even close. The Dodgers had nothing. 2019, the Nats had it in the 8th inning, not the 9th. Will Smith for the double. Wow. Well, if anything good is happening, Flatty is up first for the Blue Jays, and then Bichette. 1-2. And he whiffs. Strike 3. So Hoffman. Got it. Anyway, so down. So 1-0, and I think they haven't showed Rojas. No, they're letting him hit for himself. 1 for 3. Honestly, I would have just found somebody, but the Dodgers don't really have the best hitters. Padges has not hit well. Call might be the only best shot. But, well, I don't know what you could do. But anyway, the Blue Jay fans, the Game 7 ticket holders and all that. 0-1. Nope. Fortunately, though, there's no one on base, so he can bounce balls and it can get past the catcher and no problemo because, you know, that's not, it'll be a ball, but nothing more damaging than that. 4-3 Blue Jays. 1-1, 1 out. Here in the 9th, Rojas at the plate. Way down, 2 balls trying to get him to swing, but Rojas says niet. Ohtani obviously is on. Oh, Isaiah 41-10 on Scherzer's cap. I did not see that. So I gotta make a mental note of that. But yeah, 2-1. Rojas pops it up. Flatty going. Foul. Strike 2. Oof. I've seen weird plays like in World Series clinching games in which there was a foul ball for first base. I mean, everyone, I know people don't remember, but in 1980, Bob Boone, the second out of the World Series for the Phillies against the Royals, when they clinched it, Bob Boone had a pop-up in first base, and he bobbled it, and Pete Rose caught it before it fell on the ground. So that was a strike pitch. Rojas, foul again. Just trying to make Hoffman work for it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. So Ohtani's on deck. Well, if you walk him, you got Will Smith, who has done well. So obviously, walking Ohtani is not the answer. 2-2. Oh, trying to get him at the curveball a little too high. 3-2. Obviously, you don't want Rojas on base because Ohtani represents the go-ahead run. Dodgers chipped away at Toronto's 3-0 lead to make it 3-2, and then the Blue Jays scored their 4th run in the 6th. 3-2. Rojas to left field, away! Gone! Wow. Of all people, Miguel Rojas. Like I said, the World Series, like the postseason, anyone can have a good at bat. And Miguel Rojas has just hit one of the biggest home runs of his life. And that was a curveball. And that was gone. Back in Rojas, the first. Ew. Oh, is he off the plate? Oh, my God. Is he off the plate? They called him out. Is he off the plate? Ooh. Oh, my gosh. Where's the back foot? Oh, my gosh. Oh, it's close. And they do say tie goes to the runner. Watch the play. Watch his foot. Oh, my God. Is it on? Oh, you got it. And he's out. Oh, by a fraction, he's out. Wow. So bases loaded, 2 outs by a fraction. My gosh. Well, Rojas took all the time in the world. I think he should have thrown it faster, but he was probably worried he was going to throw it away. And now Clement needs a hit. They have to get a hit, because if they don't get a hit, we go to the 10th. Clement, this is his time. To left field. Kiki, back. Oh, my God. He made the catch. He made the catch. My God, he made the catch. I'm like, dude. Oh, my God. I told you. This is Toronto sports at its worst. This is the epitome of Toronto sports. Oh, my God. Well, he's a first pitch hitter, so IKF is coming in. Well, my guess is that, you don't really have the pinch hitter for IKF. So my guess is he's going to bunt. He's going to try to bunt Flatty to third base because, kind of for Lefa. So, yeah, double by Flatty. But, we'll see what happens. The Blue Jays runner on second and no outs. IKF, what's he going to do? I'm surprised Yamamoto's still out there. I would have went with Roki. IKF is going to bunt. Nice bunt. Perfect bunt. That is a perfect bunt, and Flatty is on third base with 1 out. Perfect bunt. I think that's going to be Roki's time to shine now. And Barger's coming in. A hit or a fly ball. We are tied, and we're not done yet. Yep. I think Yamamoto's done for. Well, oh no, that's the pitching coach. That's not Dave Roberts. I'm actually surprised. I would. Well, you got Barger, and then you got Clement. No. Clement's number 6. I keep mixing my numbers up. Farshow's coming up after Barger. Yeah, I think they're going to yank Yamamoto and go with Roki. You got to go with your closer. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're going to go with the closer, but they're not. Well, Barger just needs a fly ball to tie the game. Jays are 3 for 16 with runners in scoring position. A sac fly would be big because at least we at worst see a 12th inning in a game 7, which would tie a major league record. Because I don't think there's been a game 7 that's been longer than 12 innings. And no, I'm not counting those best 5 out of 9 series and all that. Here's Barger. Ooh, no. Borderline. Ball 1. So, yeah, Barger. He's got a pair of singles. He got the 2 hits. Remember, game 6, he was kind of the GOAT, if you will. He should have stayed at second base. Even if they get out, okay, fair enough. 1-0. Ball 2. Okay. 2-0, 1 out. Yeah, they replaced Rojas. High ball 3. You could walk him, but Barger knows he's going to get 3-0 pitch. Practically, if he can just drive it for a looping hit or a what? Oh, Alejandro's up. I thought it was partial. 3-0. Ball 4. Well, that's not the worst thing that can happen. I mean, Barger walked. So now you do have the double play set up. So if I'm the Dodgers, that's going to be Roki's time. We got Alejandro Kirk. Yeah, I'm guessing now they got to go with Roki here because you got Kirk, you got 2 men on base, and are they going to pull Yamamoto or no? Well, Kirk, nope, they're going to keep him on. I'm actually shocked. I think that's the time you put Roki in because you have a double play opportunity. Kirk, foul. Five, 4 in the bottom of the 11th. This is gut busting right here, right now. Just put it to the outfield. Ooh, I would have swung. If I were Kirk. I know it's low in the zone, but flip it over the shortstop. I know Clement. No. Yeah, Farshall on deck, then Clement. Oh, 2. Chopper. 1, 2, double play. And the Toronto Blue Jays have just choked again. The Los Angeles Dodgers are your world champions. The Toronto Blue Jays cannot believe it. The Hollywood ending has happened. And for the first time in 25 years, there is a repeat world champion. As the Los Angeles Dodgers have done it. The Toronto Blue Jays had it in the 7th inning. And now all the hate, all the cutter rage will have to come out. I don't believe this. All Kirk had to do was lift one to the outfield, and we tie. They're going to be talking about this on the worst Toronto chokes in sports history. The question now is this the worst Toronto sports choke in history? Because I think it is.